Live from the Pines, coming at you with episode 4. It's your favorite East Texas sport podcast. Want to give a big shout out to the guys at Zilker Belts. Use discount code PINES936 to receive 25% off all online orders. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Doing pretty good.
I'm doing great,
okay.
Actually.
Better now.
I don't know. Went for a run after work.
You went for a run after the work to the liquor store?
It's exactly where I would.
Yeah.
Where you what?
Went straight to Fat Dog's Liquor at Gregg County Lime. So
nice.
What'd you get?
Got some J&B. I know you're not a big fan, but you're always a hater of mine and my sports takes. But some things never change, right, Jalen?
I never said I did not dislike. I never said I did not dislike J&B.
Someone say that on a pillow.
What are you mixing it with, David? Are you drinking it straight or you?
No, it's scotch.
Okay.
Some ice cubes.
Put a little hair in your chest.
I'm ready to come after all three of you for whatever you have to say to me, and that's why I'm here.
Be careful, he's spitting fire because he's drinking
Everybody's
straight
been
scotch.
Everybody's been watching the news. They've been watching ESPN. They see the NFL talking. It's free agency. You got the combine. Let's start with the free agency out there. What's going on out there, Cole?
First one that comes to mind is Chris Jones signing Trey can probably help me out here. 3 year, $115 million contract.
I can't remember the years. It was 115 guaranteed. I think 119 and some change total. I can't remember what the years were. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, he's just one of the. Everybody knew that he probably wasn't going anywhere. He said that in the parade. I think we touched on that. But, the agent had to come in on Twitter and be like, no, we might be going somewhere just to keep the leverage. And,
just driving the price up.
Exactly. I mean, they weren't going to franchise tag him because it wasn't going to be enough money. So With that, it's very good. So he was one of the first dominoes to fall. I'm interested to see what was Mike Evans signed as well. What was that? That was another 3 years.
That was it was 2 years, $52 million.
I saw Mike Evans leaving Tampa Bay. I thought for sure he was going to try to come back closer to Texas.
Mike Evans resigned.
Yeah,
he's been there his whole career. He's probably only got 2 or 4 or 5, 3 years left, maybe 4 or 5.
That's a spattering of numbers. I've never heard someone say 2, 4, 5, 3.
He can retire after this one, but I think he's got some left. But
I think so. If he hangs around for another, 3, 4 years, and say 3 out of the 4, he puts up the numbers that he has been, he's going to get put in the conversations as, T.O., Randy Moss, and, Jerry Rice, just because of just the numbers. When you look at that, I mean, he's got a Super Bowl. He obviously doesn't have as many as Jerry, but he said he wants to retire in Tampa Bay, I think, or that was the goal for signing this contract, which I hope there's more than just 2 years left on him. But it's definitely – I know his big thing was seeing what the team wanted to do with Baker. I mean, they're in the worst division in football. So, I mean, it's if they're somewhat competitive, they'll make the playoffs again because I don't see anybody else getting any better in that division. And the key was keeping him and keeping Baker and just run it back and see where it gets you. And so they're half the way there. And so hopefully Baker falls in right after him.
Yeah, I think he had 10 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, and that's like him and only Jerry Rice. But
no, he surpassed Jerry Rice. Jerry had 9, I think. Jerry Rice. Yeah, and so he owns the record now for the most consecutive. And every year he's been in the league, it's 1,000 yards. I mean, I remember talking about it 2 years ago because there was, his like league totals or season totals, the over-under was set at like exactly 1,000 yards or like 990 something over the last 2 years. And it's like, you can bet your mortgage on him getting 1,000 yards. I mean, it didn't matter what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And he hasn't had the best quarterbacks either. It makes it even more impressive.
I mean, he played a few years with Tom Brady. He's
2 out of 10. I mean, who else? He had Jameis.
Yeah, Jameis. Jameis, he set that record that year for interceptions.
I still think Jameis Winston should be starting in New Orleans.
You still don't
know why you don't start him.
Okay, yeah.
I still do think.
Well, because Derek Carr is Derek Carr. He's
still
somewhat good.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that team, you put Jameson out there, you get that energy flowing. I think that team can go win some ball games with Jameson back there.
I see. The thing is I think you win the games you shouldn't with Winston, and you lose the games you shouldn't with Winston. So there's a give and take there because he's going to have the games where he goes out and throws 5 TDs and no interceptions and chunks it for 500 yards. But he's also going to have the game where he throws for 230, has 4 interceptions because he's never going to stop throwing that thing. And he's just going to see Mike Evans running down the field and be like, he's got it, but he doesn't.
Yeah. I love Jameis, though. He's
Thomas.
hilarious. I love Jameis. He's
Did y'all see what he said about
Just
see what he said about receivers or players born near water?
Yeah, talking about Mike
Talk
Evans.
about Florida wide receiver.
He's like Mike from Galveston. Those boys,
they different.
Born near water, they different.
They humble.
They
They humble. That's what he said. They humble.
He says something about that water, man. Mike Evans different. He said, I don't know what it is, but he's like, it's that brown water in Galveston.
It's that salt in the air.
It's cleared up the last year or so.
No, it hadn't.
Yeah, it has.
No, it hadn't.
There's certain days where some type of forgot what the weather is that makes it clearer. But
we'll be in
brown water.
Same with my pee, but I don't complain.
What?
I'm not
Hey,
complaining.
3 of the 4 out of the Life of Pines boys will be on blue water next week.
What?
We'll be playing golf on some beautiful water.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. But I also saw where Daniel Jones re-signed with the Giants, and then so that begs the question that Saquon Barkley is probably going to leave the Giants, right?
I don't think he re-signed.
Well, I mean, he got extended last offseason.
I think it was last year, year before.
I thought I saw something today. He re-signed.
No, he's in the middle of his extension because they paid him for who he was for a year, not who he has been.
But Saquon's a free agent, isn't he?
Saquon did not get franchise tag. That was the big thing. Saquon did.
Free agent. I did see where the Texans are the favorite landing spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just extended Dalton Schultz, speaking of the Texans.
Yep.
That
was another 3-year deal.
3-year.
It seems to be 3-year deals. Zach Ertz got signed, didn't he? To Washington on a 2-year deal. He's been he was retired for half of last year. He got signed to a 2-year deal.
Yeah, he was with Arizona, wasn't he?
He was with Arizona, and he was there with Cliff. And in that offense, he got a lot of looks. He got a lot of passes, and so it makes sense.
He signed with somebody in the playoffs or something, and they were trying to bring him back this last year.
Yeah,
they just never brought him back. He was hurt or something. I don't know.
I don't know either.
And
you'll see how many safeties were in the free agency market.
Yeah, Marcus Joyner or no,
Poyer.
Poyer, yeah, Poyer for the Bills. He got released.
But
and
Jamal Adams got released.
And Quandre Diggs.
Andre got released.
Yeah, him and Jamal Adams.
Who was it? The Bears signed their safety to a big extension. Or was it the quarterback?
Name, I saw it.
That was a pretty big extension. It was like $67 million, $60 guaranteed.
Yeah,
which is
and Russell Wilson got released. That's a pretty big one.
Get paid $85 million to do nothing.
I think that's just Sean Payton. I think he had a little trial year, and he said, "Nah, I don't want to."
That. So where does that rank that trade for Russ? I mean, how bad does that look now? I mean, they gave up 3 or 4 ones and a couple twos.
Draft picks and paid him at least $100 million. I mean,
it's not just draft picks. They gave up their future. It was first round picks. I think the next 3 or 4 years.
I'm looking.
Yeah, it's something. It's up there with the Herschel Walker trade. I mean,
I was about to say Deshaun Watson trade was probably the worst, but this might top it now with him getting released.
Yeah, you got $85 million in dead cap space. The guy gets to go sign somewhere for nothing, which I think he would be really good in Atlanta. Him or Kirk Cousins.
They gave up 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a 5th-round pick, Noah Fant, the tight end, Drew Lock, and a DN.
Yeah. Just absurdity. It was
Noah Fant's pretty solid too. Tight end.
Yeah. And Drew Lock won enough games.
And so the Broncos are going to, I may be skipping ahead, but it's like the Broncos are going to have to get a quarterback in the first round. I would think.
The thing is, they don't have a first-round pick.
The Broncos do.
Oh, yeah, they don't.
They gave it up.
They don't have a first-round pick.
Pretty sure the Broncos have a first-round pick.
Do the Broncos have a first-round pick in the 2024?
We're supposed to have a producer that maybe.
Yeah, Garrett, this is where you come in and start Googling
this
shit
shit
for us. Pop up the images of like the draft order.
It's supposed to be our Jamie.
They have the 12th overall pick.
Right.
They have the 12th from who?
They're from the Seahawks?
Let me see. I'm reading. Hold on. Let me get my
glasses.
They need to
pick that Michael Penix Jr.
With him and his purple do-rag at the combine.
I mean, Michael Penix Jr. with Jerry Jeudy. Cortland
Maybe they gave up. Yeah.
Got my JTs out.
I could see the Broncos drafting Michael Penix Jr. or Bo Nix.
I think Michael Penix. I think people are sleeping on him.
I do too, and like we talked about that earlier before this show. It's like JJ McCarthy is now a top 10 pick allegedly. It's like, how do you pick JJ McCarthy or Michael Penix Jr.? I don't get that.
I think that's a great segue. We'll start talking about the combine because I think we touched on a bunch of the free agency stuff.
I think they know.
Hold on. Garrett's bringing some heat in here. Just give him a second.
They gave up their 2025 first round pick.
Bringing the draft picks up.
26, so they still have their 24.
They still have the 24.
Yeah, they gave up their 25th.
Pull up the draft order, please.
Yeah, there they are at 12. So, Cole, what were you saying? They traded. What was in the trade?
They traded their 25th.
Oh, they're 25.
Yeah, and they're 26. I think. Hold up.
Oh.
So who do you take? Who do you think's going to be there at 12 quarterback wise?
Bo Nix and Michael Penix, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Bo Nix, Michael Penix. I mean, Caleb Bloom's going to go 1. Jaden Daniels and Drake May going to go 2 or 3 respectively. I mean, in any order. I could see the Chargers trading up to get Marvin Harrison for Justin Herbert.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
The Giants, I mean, the Giants drafted Daniel Jones. And if they draft J.J. McCarthy, I feel like you should just be fired as a GM.
Yeah, it doesn't. So that, like I was saying earlier, touches on the combine. People just forget about like the last 3, maybe 4 years of tape when guys, wear tights and throw a football around. Because J.J. McCarthy didn't, what it seems like, barely threw a pass for 4 years. They didn't have to. I mean, he did one of the best running games in college football over the last 2 years. And now people are talking about the guy from ESPN was like, oh, people in circles are talking about him being a top 5 pick. Who and what are they smoking and how can I get some? Because that would be awful. It would be terrible. I mean, it would be so bad. Imagine you having to convince yourself, no, I didn't go get Jaden Daniels. I didn't go get Drake May. I went out and got J.J. McCarthy.
And Michael Penix is still on the board, and Bo Nix is still on the board.
It's so asinine. It just amazes me every year. The same thing. People start drooling over Joel Milton. They start drooling over Joel Milton because he could throw a football 70 miles an hour. But you know what? He couldn't throw it for shit at Tennessee.
He can't hit the broadside of a barn.
No, he couldn't hit the fucking ocean falling out of a boat.
Hey, he beat Bama.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Who did he beat? Georgia, didn't he?
He wasn't starting.
No, he didn't beat Georgia either.
He wasn't starting.
I thought he beat somebody big.
Beat somebody in that bowl game. I forgot who they played.
Yeah, no one cares. He still sucks.
But I was saying the same thing about Anthony Richardson, but he played pretty good this year.
I mean, the thing is he had the tools and he looked raw. Like J.J. McCarthy's been in school for 4 years, and all he's done is hand the ball off and throw 15-yard passes, and he still couldn't even do that in a fucking combine.
Actually, Jalen, that was Nico Amamaliva. That was not Joe Milton. You just went 0 for 3 right there.
He started against Bama?
Sounds like his usual Saturday night.
Milton started against Bama.
No, it was You talking about last year? That was
Clemson.
The bowl game was I'm a believer.
Hendon Hooker was last year.
Yeah, Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, Hendon Hooker beat Bama. I mean, they did not beat Georgia.
They beat Iowa.
Yeah, 27-year-old.
Yeah, but that was the freshman Nico.
Yeah. But also, like, who is what was I seeing the other day? Who is Michael Penix and Bo Nix older than in the NFL right now? I swear they're older than some quarterbacks playing.
They're older than CJ Stroud, I think.
Yeah, Stroud, was it?
CJ's only like 22.
Herbert, Stroud.
I don't think he's – I think Herbert and Burrow are like 27. I don't think they're that
what
old.
What about Justin Fields?
But I think – no, it was Sam Howell, CJ Stroud, and maybe Tua. Maybe Tua. I can't remember. But, like, they're older than him. So, I mean, they come out of their rookie deal 4 years in. They're almost 30. And so it just –
Tua is 26.
Tua is 26? Okay. So he's just a little bit older than them. So it's CJ Stroud and Sam Howell. But it's like –
how many years has Tua been in the NFL?
Tua went to the league after 2019.
3 now?
So
Tua's been in the league 3 years. How many years has Justin Fields been in the league? 3?
2.
2?
Yeah,
how many years has Herbert been in the league?
3.
4.
3 years.
So these guys have basically got 3 seasons under their belt.
Michael Penix has spent like 7 years in college, and it's because of injuries.
He got hurt a lot.
I'm not saying that that's not the case, but he spent 7 years in college football. I think is what it was. Something crazy. Like
it's like Dylan Gabriel's like 25, right, or something crazy. He's old too.
It's like fucking. It's KJ Jefferson. KJ Jefferson. He played against Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is 27.
Yeah.
He's 27.
Yeah.
It makes it even worse. I mean, I guess they were probably in college they were in college with COVID, so they got an extra year with that.
There's a guy, I think he just got granted. I can't remember his name. He's a tight end at Miami.
Yeah, I saw that.
He got granted his 8th year. He graduated the year before we graduated high school. 2 years before David.
Tua's brother got his declined, and he had
the same year as David. Sorry, the same year as David.
He graduated in 2016.
He graduated in 2016.
And he's still
what
playing.
A time to be alive.
He graduated. You graduated like Jalen Hurts and everybody else. That he graduated in that class in high school. He was ranked in the ESPN top 300, and he's still playing college football.
He must have got hurt.
Like fill out a job application.
Must have got red shirt medical, a red shirt, and COVID.
He got everything.
Something else.
Hey, y'all remember that? Y'all remember that former Texas quarterback Casey Thompson?
Mm-hmm.
He transferred to like Nebraska, then he transferred to FAU with Herman. I think he went somewhere else. I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember seeing he transferred somewhere else.
And he's average at best. He should get a job. He should be on Indeed or something.
It says,
at least Brandon Whedon.
Cam McCormick has entered his 9th season.
Yeah, 9. It's just crazy.
It says,
I mean, it's like Brandon Whedon, except for he didn't do anything for our country.
It says
he went to the MLB too, right?
He went to Major League Baseball, then came back, I think.
Yeah, he went to the minors.
Oh, was it baseball? I thought it was the military. My bad.
Hey, I mean,
shout out Robbie Hampton. Basically, my uncle Robbie. He did the same thing. Was in the J system, and then I think they signed like Vernon Wells. And they were like, "Yeah, you're not leaving AAA." So he's like, "Screw it, I'll go play football at Arkansas."
Nice.
All right, let's roll over to that 40-yard. I mean, not the 40-yard dash. The
combine. Yeah, I mean, the biggest news out of it was Xavier Worthy breaking the combine record. He's still technically not as fast as what somebody finger clicks Bo Jackson has in a 4.12. I think is what it was. 4.19, whatever it was, and
that sounds like me, Pods.
Oh, you're practically that fast. Here we got it.
Pull it up, Jamie.
In his first run, and he's going to run it again to try and get John Rahm.
The audio. That's the audio. I think we can use it.
Here he goes.
So watch after this. I think he runs faster.
That guy in open field.
I think he runs faster after he finishes the 40. Watch when he gets excited.
Take your time, man. You're chasing a record. Don't rush this thing here.
An unofficial 4.25 in his first run, and he's going to run it again to try and get John Ross's 4.22.
His jump in the first 10 yards.
His 10-yard split's incredible. What? He gets excited here and he starts running.
I mean, that's some serious speed. I've watched him all year. We hit him at the deep ball a lot, but we also like to get him in the bubble screen game and just let him get on the edge and just kind of shake, the corners and the safeties there. Yeah. But he's going to be, the size is, he's only like 165 pounds, probably about 5'11". So the size are concerns, but he also is the same size as Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith, yeah. That's what I was going to say. With him coming out, that's kind of ushered in the new. You don't have your Calvin Johnsons playing wide receiver anymore. I mean, there's still those guys. Obviously not a freak athlete, but you can. Yeah,
Tank Dell's like the same build.
Exactly. I mean, those are those guys that are coming out that are,
usually,
20 years ago. Well, 20 years ago, no, they're not. 20 years ago, those guys aren't playing wide receiver. They're just not. You're built like Larry Fitzgerald, 6'1", 200 pounds, run a 4.4. Now it's, Devontae Smith, Tank Dell, and like you're saying, Xavier Worthy. Those, big-bodied guys. These guys can still turn out and be ones.
Yeah, and you got to also think about, I think the game of football has also evolved in, different ways. Because, look at the quarterback position. Back then, quarterbacks weren't running the ball as much as they are now. They weren't as athletic as they are now. These quarterbacks nowadays are just, they're serious athletes. Who was that? Patrick Mahomes. Look at Mahomes. Mahomes is not the fastest guy out there, but he is an athlete. He played baseball, played basketball, ran track in high school, and you can tell when he throws the ball, he looks like he's making a play in the infield, playing baseball. The game is it's changed. You don't have Brady, drop stepping and stuck in the pocket, can't really move and airing the ball out.
Here's another thing.
I think it helps.
Brady ran a faster 40 time at 44 years old than he did at the combine.
Really?
That's great. I think he ran like a 5.28 at the combine originally. Don't quote me on that, but I think he ran like a 5.2 we did better than that. 44 years old.
Yeah, I think it's just the prototypical types of these positions are kind of going away. Like Bryce Young was drafted first overall, and he was 5'10", I think.
Yeah, it used to be, you want a tall 6'4", 6'5" quarterback like Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady.
Yeah, straight pro type.
Sam Bradford, that goes to tall guy. How tall is Matt Stafford?
Probably 6'2", 6'3".
He's over 6. Well, he's probably safely over 6 foot. And now you got Kyler was drafted number 1 overall. Bryce Young.
I forgot about Kyler. That's a big Matt Stafford 6'3" pods.
Oh, he's 6'3". He's a big guy.
I think Bryce Young might be shorter than Kyler and smaller.
Hey, another thing. You look at the defensive side of the ball. You remember defensive linemen? You got defensive linemen nowadays that can go play receiver if you needed them to. These guys are athletic. They play tight end. I'm sorry. These guys are athletic. They can move. Look at Jadeveon Clowney, Myles Garrett. These guys are athletic. They're moving around guys, going upfield, chasing guys down.
I don't think there was ever an argument about probably who the most athletic guys on the field were, which I always assumed were probably the defensive ends. I mean, it seems like the most athletic guys across the board when you're talking about football. I mean, you've got 6 foot to 6'5" guys that can bend like that, run like that, and they're stronger, they're bigger, faster. They're bigger, stronger, not quite as fast. But if you drop 30 pounds off of them, they're probably just as fast as those guys at tight end or even a big wide receiver. That's what I always assumed. Jadeveon. I mean, Cole and I saw him play basketball once at the rec. It's stupid. And he's a freak athlete. He's one of the best defensive ends in the.
It's not Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett, yeah, not Jadeveon. Yeah, look what Nathan was talking about.
How tall is that? How big is that guy? He's 345, 6. He's what?
Who?
Sweat.
Tavondre? Yeah, Tavondre is 365. Pull it up, Carrot, please. 365 pounds, runs a 5.27. I saw
Yeah.
something where his adjusted 40 time would have been, if he was a 180-pound DB, he'd
Like-
have ran 4.20.
I saw a picture of him when he was like a high school and senior, and he looked like a damn linebacker. Like he went
Yeah.
or small DN pass rush, and now he's like fucking huge. It's crazy how much he's
Yeah.
transformed.
Yeah.
Austin barbecue.
Before y'all even ask, I feel like a lot of y'all gonna be like, when I run this 40, you know, I'm gonna shock a lot of y'all, you know. So
How fast he can.
God,
you know, get up
That's
out
a
of
large
here.
human
Let y'all
being.
know. I'm doing.
Can we get a broadside view of that, please?
Yeah, that's a large. Well, it's like the same thing that the defensive tackle from Florida State ran like a 4.7, and he's walking around at like pushing 300 pounds. I mean, he looks like a
what's that
shorter JJ Watt.
What's that one kid y'all got that plays D-line?
For the Horns?
No, from Florida, the big boy.
Oh, I was talking about Florida State. I can't remember his name. He's like 420.
That's a big man.
That man might start the 40 today and finish tomorrow.
yeah,
So,
he's too big. He's too big.
He's too big.
No,
Yeah.
who was that? Oh, what skill player had like a really slow 40? It was this past draft. This
Is-
past combine.
Jalen Mark.
Keon Coleman ran like a 4.6.
Hey, I would say, quarterback was always a dream of mine. And, if I would ever got the opportunity, I would have kind of looked like, I'm not going to say his name.
Should we have a live from the Pines 40-yard dash?
Oh,
Yes.
No.
people
Yes.
might want to see that.
God,
Let's
no.
go. Let's go from
Here he's got it. He's got it. Pull it up, Jamie.
Pretty sure you're gonna get this simulcam right here.
It's still a TikTok view, but
You can see when that head starts doing this, you know they're moving.
Pretty sure you're gonna
Could,
get this.
could you imagine him lining up in front of us and coming off the ball?
No,
so is he gonna be a one down? Was he
I'd
mostly
kick
a
his
one
ass.
bigger
down?
than me.
I'd kick his ass.
Probably
What'd you
not.
say?
But
I'd kick his ass.
David, how much do you weigh, David?
David, he's taking
180
shits
pounds.
bigger than you.
He would put you in the dirt with one arm.
No, I'd cut his knees and I'd make the tackle. I'm sorry.
Your head would bounce off of his kneecap faster than you could see it.
My head's the size of his kneecap.
He would just go over you like a speed bump. It wouldn't even be like he would just go right over you like a speed bump. It wouldn't even.
Hey, we're from left. We're built.
If he lined up in front of me, you know what I would do?
Run
I'd do
away.
like I did in high
Go the
school.
other way.
I would do like I did in high school. Quit.
Jalen will drop into coverage.
I'd quit. Hey, you know how I quit high school football? I had just moved back from Sour Ranch, and I went to practice for like a week, and
There we go.
I basically
360.
Here we go.
Jeez.
How many times we gonna watch this?
I
big
basically
motherfucker?
said I had to go get a
His big
physical.
frame. He's got a lot to work with.
It never
He's
came
speaking of
back.
Big man.
Yes, the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Last time a Texas Longhorn could be called that.
I think
They
this
moved
is
to the SEC.
Pretty sure you're gonna get this simulcam right here, Rich. That's already being queued up. And
Why is he not? Why is he not like? Why is he not tired?
Because he's got a high motor, man.
truck. Is that
You know,
right?
like if I ran,
Warren, again, I love.
if I ran a
mentioning Sap.
40-yard dash, I'd be on
Warren
my
always
knees.
referred to those fellas who might be larger in stature and slow.
He also ain't an NFL
as pace
prospect.
cars.
so-
I mean, he's like the
could've
same
been.
size as Jordan Davis, who was at Georgia 2 years ago. He was a first-round pick. I don't think he'll be a first-round pick just because of his size concerns. But we'll have
Who's
Byron
Sweat?
Murphy. Yeah, Sweat. I think will be a second rounder at the latest.
I think
Yeah, I
Sweat
mean,
goes
is he
first
mostly
round.
like a one or two down guy?
Well, he was, I mean, he was on third down. He was like 1, 2, 3. Then I guess if we got the first down, we'd alternate a break, and then he'd come back in. But I mean, he was a hell of a run stopper.
So-
I mean, him and Murphy there in the center of our defense were elite. I mean, we were holding people to 80 yards a game on the ground. So I think that's mostly his prototype in the NFL is just being a run stopper. So I think there's concerns about his his motor and longevity, but I don't know. I'm excited about the Horns this year. We're gonna have Murphy in the first round. I think we'll have another receiver go to like the Chiefs in the late first round. I think I'd bet money that Xavier Worthy goes to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I can see. I'm looking at a mock
Or
draft
the
right
Bills. Or the
I
Bills.
see-
And
I would say maybe the
now.
Texans.
I see.
I'd be happy. I'd love to see.
I see
I'd
Mitchell.
love to see him. I'd love to see either of our receivers go after the 20th pick to go to some good quarterbacks. C.J. Stroud, Josh Allen, Mahomes. I just don't want them to go to like the Steelers or the. Oh, God forbid he goes. Well, no, Carolina won't have a pick then. Well, I don't know, but
They don't have a first round pick. I don't think. Well, they don't have one.
so like late second round or early second round, they would go to like the Steelers or the Panthers.
I see Mitchell going the first pick in the second round to the Ravens, and I kind of like that. But I
Oh,
also see Penix slipping to the second round, and I don't
Who?
know about that. Michael
Penix.
Penix.
Oh, I heard penis.
Michael Penix Jr. I would be surprised if Michael Penix Jr. doesn't go in the first round. I mean, a guy who can sling the ball over the yard like that guy's dangerous.
You got injury history. I mean, that's got to factor in. He's 24, like we were talking about. It's first round seems like a stretch. I think I feel like, and this is just because remember exactly where Tim Tebow went in the draft. But like very end of first, kind of middle to early second. I could see maybe somebody stretching out there and going to get him. But you got to think about the class he's with. You've got
What if he went to the
too
Vikings?
many. I've seen. I can't remember what I was looking at. I think it was
somewhere.
Bo Nix. I think it was Bo Nix to the Vikings.
I also saw Bo Nix to the Broncos. I saw
I
Michael
don't think
Penix
he's
to the
not
Broncos
going to be that good.
or the Raiders. I mean, with the Raiders, with the Devontae Adams, man, that would be incredible to watch.
I don't think he's going to be that good in the NFL. He might be a solid starter, but I don't think he's going to be a franchise guy. Talking about Bo Nix.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Penix should definitely have that potential the way he
Yeah,
throws the
Penix
ball.
does. Yeah. Another thing we didn't touch on NFL is Jason Kelsey retiring after a long career at center with the Eagles. Why are you looking like that, Trey?
Nothing. Undoubted Hall of Famer. I mean, he after the retirement speech should have gone straight to the tailor, gotten measured for the jacket, and then just gone in. Like taking a picture, gotten his bus ready, and go.
Yeah. Speaking of Hall of Famers, shout out Andre Johnson. Finally got inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Did that last week, Pods.
No, he didn't.
I'll never forget when he and Cortland Finnegan started just boxing on the field.
Oh, it was amazing. It was awesome. Cortland Finnegan was such a butthole on the field.
Like 2008, and they lined up and been jawing all game, and then Andre Johnson I think Cortland Finnegan initiated it, and then Andre Johnson.
I remember that's like such core childhood. Those Texans teams like
with
Andre, Matt Shaw, Arian Foster, Mario Williams. You had the defensive end, Antonio Brown. He did the little samurai thing. Oh, it was awesome. Like Brian Cushing,
Jonathan Joseph,
D'Amico, Vontae Leach,
Kareem Jackson.
Oh, dude. Who's God dang it? Who's the cornerback? I met him. Jonathan Joseph. I was at
Tony Romo,
Whitney Merciless.
Merciless.
Yeah, D'Amico Ryan's the head coach.
Hey, Connor Barwin. You remember that?
Brooks Reed.
Oh.
No.
Jason Witten.
Kevin Walter.
Shut up, Jalen.
Owen Daniels.
Owen
Daniels.
Dude, you could have talk about putting your mortgage on things. It was scripted. Kubiak had it dialed up. First offensive drive, we're running a dive to the left, and then next play, play action. Schaub's throwing it somebody over the middle of the field, about 40 yards down the field. Doesn't matter who it is. You don't even have to wear the same jersey. He's throwing it, and that's what happened. And oh God, it was
that one season. They were gonna make a run at it, I think, and then Schaub got hurt.
Yep. And then that's when like Ryan Mallett played.
Something.
TJ Yates won a playoff game, but that's when Schaub after that just started throwing pick sixes, and he never was the same.
Yeah, because
No,
they played the Ravens in Baltimore the year that Flacco and them won the Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah.
They won the playoff game in Cincinnati. I'm pretty sure TJ.
Yeah, because the Bengals went all those years to Marvin Lewis and never won a playoff game.
Yeah, it was young memories right there.
Yeah, I mean I remember. Shout out Bo Atkinson. I'm pretty sure it was at his birthday party in the Woodlands. You remember when those jump houses were a thing, and you played dodgeball on the trampolines?
What the Sky Zone?
Sky Zone, whatever that place was called.
No, we went to hot. Was it hot? No, Sky Zone. It was Sky Zone. We went to the one in the Woodlands.
Hijinks,
but shout out Hijinks and Hudson.
Hijinks, yeah.
And hashtag no free ads. But Jonathan Joseph was there with his kids, and I picked him out of the crowd. And I'm trying to figure out how. No, it was in the Woodlands. I'm pretty sure.
We were in the Woodlands for Bo's 12th birthday.
Yeah, and I see him, and I'm like, all right, I gotta figure out how to talk to him. So I pulled up a picture of him on my phone, and I sat down and was just like messing with your socks that you're supposed to wear, and I was like, man, and I turned and showed him the phone. I go, you know this guy? He goes, yeah, I'm kind of familiar, and I go, man, he sucks. He kind of looked at me cross, and I'm like, I'm just playing. I didn't know how to break the ice. And he's like, nah, man, you're good. And we just chit chatted for a minute, and I was like, I'll quit bothering you, and I walked away. But that's my Jonathan Joseph story.
He nearly went Tyreek Hill on your ass.
Yep. I almost broke my leg like I'm an OnlyFans star.
Or Adrian Peterson. I mean,
beat me with a switch.
Hey,
where are we going?
Kids need a little whooping every now and then.
Got whoopings when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You got what?
I got my ass beat when I was a kid. Rarely, but I did. I mean,
Cole got beat with a broom in my house.
What, by your mom?
Michelle coming after him with a broom.
Yeah.
But in other football news, I guess we could touch on college football. The Mannings are still shits. Is that what I'm hearing? He doesn't want to be in a football game because he's focusing on a football.
He don't want to.
Yeah.
He don't want to cause.
Why receive $600?
He made the best,
$500,000.
yeah, he made the best decision for her.
He already has money.
Okay, there's other people and there's other highly sought after or whatever talents out there that you become an ambassador of the game and they pay you more money because they know you're worth more money. The same thing, Connor Wegman. I know Cole was going to bring up that he did it. Everybody's doing it, but because he's a Manning and wants to throw a bitch fit and runs to. Technically, his daddy isn't, one of the big Mannings, but still related to the big Manning. He gets his way, and I'm going to focus on football and not play a fucking video game. Just shut up, sign the paper, take your $600.
Yeah, you sound like a hater. You sound like you just really wanted to play with Arch Manning.
No. If
you wanted to bring 20 years and play with Arch Manning. That's exactly what you wanted to put him in the portal and go to Florida.
Exactly. You told me I could
you're not cutting David off
and pay me $600 and give me a free copy of it. Sign me the up.
And it's like, what do you say? He wants to focus on football or not cause drama. It's like you're causing more shit, not opting in.
In the physical game, he doesn't have to run and throw passes when some guy in Minnesota plays with him. What are you talking about?
Let me tell you something real quick. Let me say something real quick. At the end of the day, you take my bank account, your bank account, Cole's bank account, Dave's bank account. He still has more money than we do.
Then what does $600 have to do with it? Why don't you just take the money and shut up?
Because they're rich.
Yeah, your points are relevant.
You want to make more money. It's all about making more money.
They already have more money.
The Mannings are Manning.
That's not his money. That's his family's
complaining.
Money.
I'm not talking about money. It's just the fact that Mannings are bitches.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Peyton in his big head didn't want to leave Tennessee early to be the number 1 draft pick. So you know what he did? He went back and lost to Florida again, never played for a national championship. Eli Manning, the next one up, went to dad's alma mater. You know what he did? Said, I don't want to play for San Diego. So you know what they did? Drafted Phillip Rivers. All they do is bitch, moan, and complain, and he's still the backup. He will be next year. And you know what? I bet he's not even that good. I'll say it right now.
Hey, he'll be
shit off my screen.
Hey, he'll be taking knees against Florida when they come to Austin when we're up by 4 touchdowns. So
Wow! Congratulations.
it'll be 48. It'll be 48 to like 17, and Arch Manning will just be handing the ball off. He'll maybe throw a play action pass.
You want to give me a 31-point spread right now?
I'll give you a 24-point spread right now.
I'll take 31.
my
You said it.
God.
You said 31.
24 is that's pretty big.
We'll meet in the middle and say 30.
Yeah, meet in the middle.
I can't take that right now because I don't.
No. You're very confident in saying he's going to take a bunch of
28.
knees.
28. No, 28.
Yeah.
You're going to give me 28 and a half.
Okay.
Take the hook. What y'all
Hundo.
bet like?
Take
This
it.
Y'all
year?
bet like drink?
Trey, we'll be at the game,
We will be at the game.
and we're gonna curb stomp your ass. Billy
You
Napier,
might. As long as I cover, it pays for drinks on 6 that night.
that'll pay
You might-
for.
I might have to just spectate that day with the NCAA hat on.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
anyways.
you're gonna be like Rob
Really
Lowe
good.
at the Super Bowl. The NFL hat on.
Right, what
Uh,
Texas
You
game we
can
go
go
to?
just dress as like a referee or something, and just.
Yeah. No, I would definitely wear an A&M shirt or something, but
Right, what
I
Texas game we go to? College?
We went to the Texas West Virginia game, and you showed up in an A&M
Will
shirt.
Greer.
Will
Yeah,
Greer.
Y'all came by.
wait. Who showed up in an A&M shirt?
No, Jalen.
Isn't he a Texas fan?
I thought he was a South Lake Carroll fan.
Oh, this guy just can't pick.
No, he can't.
I remember that game. We lost by 1, and these two goons showed up, and we had a good
We
time.
almost got our ass beat.
We were underage. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't say you were drinking.
I remember the video of Kyle Roper doing a damn heart attack after Will Greer threw
Kyle
that
Roper
pass.
went to that game with us.
We're
Remember
sitting
that
there.
night he tried to leave the first night we were in Georgetown?
Yeah.
I just remember y'all like we're at the time my mom's fiance's house, and he just opens the liquor cabinet and he's like, "Hey, here you go." He's got anything you can think of, like nice, cool shit, just to like let's try it out. And these two bums go, "Hand me that bottle of Jameson," and just walk out. He's like, "Hey guys," "Hey guys, try this." He pulls out a bottle of Louis the 13th and puts it on the table.
He pulled out a bottle.
It was Louis the 13th.
Like it was an $8,000 shot. That's all I remember.
It wasn't $8,000, but it was Louis the 13th.
$800 shot.
It was Louis the 13th. He pours it in.
Oh, Jalen, look at that.
He pours it into cups, and these two degenerates just shoot it as everybody else is taking a sip of it.
I don't know if you can see this, but
Giga Mags.
It's just
Hey.
Hey, I know that guy. Hey, he was feeling kind of glonky.
Y'all came by the frat tailgate.
He was feeling really glonky.
It's a little glonky.
What year was that? Like 2018?
Yeah, I'm gonna like here you go. I got it. That was that night.
Like, you want me to show you what I have in there?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, because y'all came by my apartment. Oh god.
Hey.
We showed up to your apartment. I felt like I was just like, all right.
I may have had the stash going during No Shave November. I can't remember, but
You had it going. It was going.
Yeah, that's a great picture of me.
It was awesome. You were talking about how great Texas was and how you couldn't imagine anybody who was sane pick any other school in the country.
That's true.
And sometimes I agree.
Are y'all really going to the Florida Texas game though?
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
1,000%.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be at the Georgia game. I'll be at the Florida game. I'm thinking about buying tickets to the Michigan game.
My brother lives in Austin, so I might have to just come up there that weekend or something.
Yeah, you definitely should.
I mean, it's also F1 weekend when we play Georgia, so Austin's going to be nuts.
Austin's going to be crazy.
I don't mind going to Austin.
I think I would wager that the early spread in that game is going to be Georgia minus
It's probably
5.5.
-9. You think 9? That much?
5.5. 5.5.
Oh, 5. Yeah, I can see that. It's
I think
definitely
it'll
less
be
than
a
a
take-
touchdown. I think it's
it'll be
more than a
touchdown
field
or
goal.
slightly less than a touchdown.
Yeah.
Do we take off work Friday and go to Austin and go play a little golf with Buggy Brown?
1,000%. Wear our Zilker belts.
Yeah,
Maybe
take
I'll
a picture with
hang a little 64 like I did last Friday on a Zilker belt. But
Like Carrot
keep
said, what
counting.
about the live podcast in Austin?
We could do that. We
Yeah,
could definitely do that.
gotta
Get
get some
Bogey
more
Brown and the boys.
We can go live at
We got to get
Posse.
some more technology for that.
We'll figure it out. We got a good producer now.
We have the producer.
Well, hey, we just got to make this ask nasty.
Exactly.
Hey, let's go live in front of the tower.
Oh, yes.
But really, it would be cool if we did the A&M Texas game. We did something for that.
I'm not
The podcast at College Station, right outside of Chimmy's.
That'd be cool.
Have us sitting outside on the turf, set up, everybody behind us. That'd be pretty cool. We gotta figure some
We could
things out.
definitely talk to old dude from Shiner. Maybe he'd let us do something. I don't know.
Hey, side note, if we're talking about College Station, RIP, sad day in history. I think it was as of yesterday or the day before. Hurricane Harry's, they're getting redeveloped as of 2025. Shout out my cousin Kate, and we had some times there. Her friends were great dancers, so that was fun. Anyways, on to the next subject. Huh?
This is a strip club?
No, I did not go to the strip club with my cousin.
It's a country western bar.
Yeah.
I only went there like twice, but
I guess next topic
like
would be
a handful of times.
Yeah.
I
guess we took some college basketball. I mean, it's that time of year. We are in March, and it's getting a little mad. So I think Houston locked up the Big 12 year one. Garrett, go ahead and pop up that graphic. I mean, everybody, you could say the tournament that they had was, whatever. Were they in the Conference USA? Were they in the big, whatever they were in? But I
American Athletic Conference, I think.
Yeah, AAC. Year one, they win the Big 12 with probably the best defense in college basketball. What is his name? Sampson.
Kelvin
Sampson. They're legit. They're going to be a number one seed. They keep bouncing back and forth from number one between UConn, Purdue, and them. So they are legit. They're very boring basketball to watch on TV, if I do have to say so myself, because they seem like they just can't get the ball in the hoop at some points. But their defense is elite, and I don't know. Maybe Zach Udy could beat him, but he's 7 foot, and the tallest player I think they have on the court is like 6'8" at any time. But
how far did they go last year? They went. My bad, David.
Go ahead, Cole.
How long they went to the Elite 8 or Sweet 16 last year?
No, they got bounced in the first round.
Oh yeah, maybe the year prior, but I want to see them go good little run at it. They've been pretty good.
They beat us
the past 4 years.
They beat us 2 years ago in the round of 32. I mean, we had no answer for him. He's 7'1". I mean, they were in the bonus with like 13 minutes left, so they were shooting free throws every time they fouled. But I mean, when you get him matched up with a similar big, that's when they're kind of neutralized. So I'm fading Purdue this year. To Trey's point, Houston is a great defensive team, but they do have problems scoring at times. They stall. I mean, and you can never count out Kansas in the tournament.
North Carolina,
UConn.
I mean, back-to-back the last time. I mean, not to toot Trey's horn, but I think it was Florida that won back-to-back. And was it Billy Donovan?
06, 07. Billy Donovan.
Joakim Noah.
Corey Brewer, Joakim Noah, Al Horford.
Jason Williams. Right? Was White Chocolate on there?
On that team. No, White Chocolate was not on there. He was there. So White Chocolate went from Marshall with Billy Donovan. I think Marshall.
It was.
I think it was Marshall. And then to Florida for a year with Billy Donovan. And that was like 2001, 2002.
Oh, my bad. I was watching a
2000
podcast with him and Udonis Haslam.
Yeah, he was on there. But no, so Purdue just finds a way to get upset every year, what it seems like. Houston, I feel like, because of their just lack of offensive ability, just somehow is going to lose a game like 53-46. Like just one of those ugly March games.
I think it's going to help them though in the Big 12 because they would play a good non-conference, but then they would play the whole conference of American Athletic, and their competition would go down. But since the Big 12, I mean, they've been playing pretty high competition up until this point. So I think
exactly. I mean, you're playing in one of the best conferences in the country.
The best conference in the country.
Yeah, I mean, you got Iowa State, Texas. Who else?
Kansas,
Texas
Which
Tech.
Kansas beat them kind of handedly.
Baylor.
Yeah,
I don't know if
Kansas
Oklahoma's
beat
good this
handedly
year.
earlier in the year.
Iowa State,
I think
Texas
Oklahoma-
Tech.
Iowa State is a team that I think could really make a run to the Final Four.
Yeah, they're like number 2 or 3 in the Big 12.
I think they're another team stylistically play a lot like Houston. That game that I watched a little bit of that Iowa State Houston game, and it was just ugly, and it just seemed like defense took over. But I think Houston pulled it out at the end.
Just a quick question, real quick. We've been, watching college basketball, March Madness, most of our lives. Who do y'all think is like the most historic team in college basketball in the last 10, 20 years?
It's the Blue Bloods. It's the
Most
Blue Bloods.
what?
Yeah.
It's Kansas. It's North Carolina.
Duke.
It's Duke. UConn's got to be up there, and then that's who I put my top 4.
Oh.
Kansas probably as well, top 5. I mean, but if you're
about-
putting them out Rushmore, it would be Carolina, Duke,
North Carolina, Kansas.
What did you say? Most historic?
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely North Carolina, Duke, and Kansas. In any three.
Yeah.
If we're going way back in historically, it's got to be UCLA's in there with Al Lucinder or whatever Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's name was before he changed it. Was it Al Lucinder? Wasn't it?
Something like that.
Something like that. I mean, he never lost a college basketball game. Won 3 national championships in a row.
In my opinion, Duke.
What about UConn?
In Kentucky.
UConn has to be up there now. With the national championship last year, I mean, they've won, 3 in the last 20 years?
They won with Kemba, they won with Shabazz Napier, and they won last year, I believe.
Okay, so 3 in the last 10 years? 15 years?
I think, if I remember correctly, I think so.
Yeah. So they have to be up there.
What about Villanova? I mean, they're always pretty good though, but they're not.
They were good with Gonzaga. Gonzaga lost me so much money last year. I don't ever want to hear their name again.
I would put Villanova with Gonzaga, like a tier 2.
Yeah. If we're
what about Xavier?
No, tier 3, 4.
That's
What
like
was
saying,
that?
what about Marquette? No, they haven't been relevant
No.
since like D
What
Wade.
was that small school that didn't have transportation?
ECU.
No, it was like St. John's.
Shaka Smart.
You can fade Shaka Smart every year. It's a good one. That.
Yeah, I'm sure he has a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah,
He was good at VCU. I don't know what happened after that. But.
He was
What's
great
the
at
school?
VCU.
Is it St. Mary's, St. John's? What's the school? Like they had no funding. They made a run.
Is this last year?
Go to the bracketology. Well, I guess we're talking about pass.
This has got to be if Creighton. Is that Final Four, Creighton?
The Texas in the Final Four.
Yeah, because we went to the Elite Eight. I went to Kansas City and watched us beat Xavier, and then we lost to Miami because we choked with like a 10-point lead. But
San Diego State and Miami. That's got to be no. Okay, so scroll down. That's an Elite Eight. That's an Elite.
You don't
Eight.
care what year is this from?
that was last year.
Yeah, it was last year.
Because it was San Diego State, UConn, Florida Atlantic, and
I thought y'all lost in the Elite Eight.
we did lost.
Oh, I was
Okay.
reading it wrong.
And
Did y'all listen to the podcast? Sorry, bringing up Creighton. It's Coach McDermott at Creighton. It's Doug McDermott's dad, and his best line is like, how did it feel bringing Doug to Creighton? Like obviously he was pretty good. He's like, well, I had an advantage. I do sleep with his mom. So
Yeah, I saw that. It's his dad.
Doug McDermott's dad is the head coach of
Oh
Creighton.
yeah,
He went to
okay.
Creighton. Dougie McBuckets. So,
A March Madness question though: who is y'all's favorite Cinderella over the years? First off, I'm gonna go. I want to say SFA, but it's probably the Florida Gulf
Wow.
Coast.
yeah,
Florida
Dunk-
Atlantic.
because they beat
No.
Georgetown. Cole, I think if I remember, they beat like Georgetown, then they beat
They went to the Sweet 16, right? Or Elite? No, Sweet 16.
They went to the Elite Eight and lost to Florida.
Yeah.
I would have
But
to
they
go Loyola Chicago with Sister Jean.
Sister Jean.
But Thomas Walkup with SFA, they were pretty.
Dude, I remember freaking out over those games.
They beat Duke in the regular season that year. Then I think they beat like Utah.
No, that was after Walkup.
That was after,
they beat
yeah.
Duke. That was after.
Well, I think they beat Utah, who was like a 7 seed, and they were like a 12 or something like that.
Those 8 and 9 seed VCU teams making the Elite Eight, which seemed like every year while Shaka was there, was so much fun to watch. With Fred Van Fleet, wasn't he there?
Yep.
That was Wichita State.
Wichita
Yeah.
State.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They had a good run.
Well, and don't forget, a year or two ago, UCLA was in the play-in game, and then they went all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It always seems like it's hard to call Michigan State a Cinderella, but it always seems like Izzo gets his guys in there, and they're anywhere from a 8 to like an 11 seed, and then somehow make it to the Elite Eight, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm still a good coach."
Well, it's like that. Like 10 years ago, when like Shabazz Napier and them made that run, Kentucky was like an 8 seed.
The Kemba Walker year. I mean, they weren't I don't even think they were technically looked at to be in for sure in the tournament. They turn around and win the Big East and go on to win the national championship.
Hey, how about those Butler teams?
Oh, dude.
Oh, I used to love those.
Because they played Duke in the
Jimmer Fredette, right? Jimmer Fredette was on there, right?
And Gordon
BYU.
Hayward almost
Gordon
made a
Hayward.
half-court shot to beat Duke in the national championship.
Rimmed out.
Yeah,
Rimmed
Gordon
out.
Hayward.
Rim
That's
job.
what it was.
It's like prom junior year.
What?
Pause.
What'd you just say?
On that note,
Anyways, so I mean, sticking on.
Let's go over to the
So Houston wins the Big 12. Tennessee wins the SEC. We got to talk about who's the white guy. Don't even know his name. Carrot, pull him up.
Tennessee.
He's just walking around,
pull that up, Jamie.
pointing at his ring finger, and all they did was win the SEC.
The white guy.
He's from Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
No,
he's really good.
it's his first year playing Division I basketball. I can't remember his name, but he's elite. That's for sure. Not from East Texas, but he's still elite. Jalen would probably rank him in his top 5 college basketball players ever if he was elite, if he was from East Texas.
Who are your top 5 basketball players from East Texas? Cole. Let's do the all-time.
You can't
Let's
just do
do
it
the
off
all-time.
dome.
You can't.
No,
You
let's do
don't.
the
No, let's save
The
that.
all-time.
Let's save that.
School team.
We'll save that. We'll
Save that.
pocket it because we all know Lil Courtney's number 1.
No, I'm talking about across the street from the middle school. Your all-time starting 5: me, Cole, Trey, Max, and Carrot.
Oh, at the Methodist Church?
Yeah.
Probably. Kyle Roper's our 6th. He's definitely 6th man of the year.
He's our 6th man.
Joseph Harris, Jared Rayleigh.
How am I not on this team?
Because you were not in our
older.
grade.
I'm a bench player. Okay.
You were not in our grade.
You were
We
not
had
in our grade.
We had some of the most intense basketball games.
Especially
Across the
when what's his name? We used to play the older dudes from Hudson. I forgot his name.
Oh, Hallmark.
Yeah. That shit used to be hilarious.
I'll never forget before basketball tryouts, me and Kyle Roper got brand new basketball shoes. And we still did not make the basketball team. But
I got passed it up for in my 8th grade year for Justin Claiborne, and I'll never be the same. 7th grade A team.
Hey,
after
those
Grace came
basketball
out, only white boy because Jarrett Moore and Carson Nearen failed. So only white boy on the A team. Hey, you can ask little Courtney K. Rod about my D. It was straight up.
Pause.
Coach Grimes rolling around there with the towel around his neck, just going layup.
Hey, I don't care.
I'm over as hell on a Monday morning.
We had the coldest B team in 7th grade.
I
Very
don't know.
nice.
There's a reason you were the B team.
Trey, let's be honest.
you're on B team. You're like 6'2".
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
it
were
was.
6'2" in middle school and was still on the B team.
No, I was 6'6'1". I was getting minutes. You were getting no minutes, so I was pretty fine with that.
You're on the B team. How are you on the B team and you're 6'2"?
Because we had
There's
we had
another
Petway.
6'4" and
We had
6'5" eighth
Petway.
grader, 7th grader.
No,
Really?
he was
Yeah,
6 foot. He was 6 foot. He
dunking.
can dunk. Petway,
Yeah,
I remember
it
him.
was me and Nick.
Where did he end up going?
To jail. He did. He's in jail. He's in jail. Yeah, he's in jail.
It was me, Nick.
The dude
Wilson.
could dunk in 8th grade on a 10-foot
We
rim.
had Colton Eberlin hit the hook
6,
shot from the
7.
free throw line.
Hey,
We
y'all
had-
never get the last day of school.
We had Vontae. No, it was Vontae. No, that was maybe 8th grade.
No, Vontae was on 18 like me.
Yeah, that was 8th grade.
Hey, do y'all remember the last day of school when Phoenix Gooch
We're
touched
just
the
like
rim?
DJ Khaled. You know why? Because we the best, and you weren't.
That was
That's right.
Phoenix.
You probably
Caleb
got
Latham.
5 minutes that whole year. I don't know.
It was Caleb Latham. He touched the rim.
I got 5 minutes
Oh, the
against
man.
White House in the championship game of a tournament we played. So thank you very much. I played a lot. Jump up another tree.
All right, let's go over to college baseball. What we got over there?
Let's
Well,
talk about it. We got two
let's-
of them. So let's hear about Tuesday night. What'd you think? What'd you like? And
Let's hear it,
why here it is. The floor is yours. Let's hear about your little brother syndrome.
Little brother syndrome, because I want to talk about the game that was just played.
When you're the higher ranked team by like 18 spots. But keep going.
I mean, it's friendly banter. We only play once a year. Yeah, Kara, play the video.
This ball hit hard.
Oh, God.
It will not stay in the ballpark. And Texas A&M has.
Look, they're saying I love you.
Up there.
Yeah, why did he throw the hook and horns?
That was I love you. That's an I love
That's
you.
I love you in sign
That's
language.
hook 'em horns. That's I love you.
Second
Go back. I think he threw the hook
of
and
the
horns.
season.
It's I love you in sign language.
I love you.
I know what it means in sign language. A, B, C, D,
Then
E,
why are you
F,
asking?
H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
They do it to the bullpen.
I'm shocked Jalen knows his ABCs.
But yeah, it was a good Tuesday night win. We threw our Tuesday pitcher. We really should have ruled them. I mean, the first run they got off was the error for second base. But
Wait,
I mean,
there's run rules in college baseball?
yeah, there is. If you're up by 10, I think after the 7th inning, maybe, because A&M did it to somebody this year. I forgot. But no, it was good. It was a good game. I kind of expected that. I had a hefty amount of money on that game.
I did too.
So did Vegas. You were the number 6 team in the country.
We talked about that on the previous podcast. A&M higher ranked team, definitely a more experienced team, better pitching staff. I kind of expected
pitching staff is a stretch.
I expected them to get
Their
to
pitching staff's a lot older than Texas's pitching staff.
I expected them to get to our young bullpen and put some bats on the ball, and they did. They got to us early in the first inning, 2-0. And we were
Brandon
playing,
Montgomery, shout out Brandon Montgomery. That
we were
dude's
playing
fun.
catch up.
You know him?
No, I just said his name off the blue of my mind.
And I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my word. If you listen to episode 3, for those who are listening, me and Cole had a friendly wager. I owe him drinks the next time I see him. So hopefully that's not for a couple of years, but I'm a man of my word. I admit defeat when I lose. So Cole's getting a couple of drinks from me next time, and I doubt we'll see each other in the postseason because I highly doubt that we may even make it. So, and that's what it is.
Y'all are ranked 24. You're gonna make the tournament. I mean, come on.
23.
We won't host the regional.
Not saying you're going to host a regional. TCU is one of the undefeated teams in the country.
I think they're
They
4
are.
right now.
Very good.
You got Oregon,
they are very good.
State, you got Arkansas, you got LSU, you got Wake Forest.
And
Wake Forest has had a baseball program for the last 2 years.
We're going on the road at Texas Tech now, and that's difficult. Texas Tech's a good baseball program. I mean, we're going to have to.
That's a rowdy environment.
Oh, they hate us. And
they still throw them tortillas.
Yeah, I mean they're just a bunch of shitheads. But I mean it's like we played them in basketball the other night, and it was sold out. People were camping out, 7 days before, number like 18 ranked Texas Tech against unranked Texas, camping out for a week, and then we go in there and beat their ass. So I mean, I don't know. Texas Tech's one of those teams in the Big 12 that just, I don't know. We've consistently beat their ass, and they just consistently try to talk shit. So it is what it is, and hopefully we beat their ass this weekend.
Their fans have always been
Texas
a
Tech
little
will
crazy.
finish higher in the Big 12 than Texas will this year. But I think there's
I agree.
I think there's and sadly probably higher than
I think it's
Oklahoma as
TCU
well.
wins. I think TCU wins the Big 12. LSU SEC. I think
LSU won't. I don't think
SEC.
LSU will win the SEC. I think it's Arkansas.
Arkansas. I forgot about Arkansas.
I think it's Arkansas to lose.
This season, though.
I think if the SEC goes, it's Arkansas to lose. But yeah, no, Texas is a top 4 team in the Big 12 right now. Just because TCU is on a heater. I don't see who beats them. DBU is another one who is also undefeated. They are.
Yeah.
And I've had some experience with Reed, my little brother, and the DBU's head coach. His son played on the same team for a few years. So I'm not a huge fan of him. He kind of shucks, but they're very good at baseball.
The coach sucks.
The coach sucks. What's
wrong with the coach?
He just sucks, and I'll leave it at that. But they are very good. Their pitching staff is very good. I can't remember if it's them or LSU's guy. They got a little left-hander that's dealing right now. He's got like the 8.2 ERA and a whip above like 1.2. But it's just crazy.
Arkansas has a guy that's like really nasty on the mound.
His name is Hagen Smith.
Carrot, pull up the rankings for the baseball.
I'll tell you, number 1's Wake Forest.
In Florida, I'm not trying to be. How is Florida still ranked at like 5 or whatever with 3 or 4 losses? Have they been playing some people?
They're good.
It's not an answer.
They don't have 3 losses.
They lost to the first series to
They played 1 game in the series. The other 2 got rained out.
Florida is 8-4.
They're
you got to think about
8-4?
Florida just went to Miami, went 2-1.
Yeah, I was just asking. They must have been playing some people. But I think A&M played.
They also have Jack Caglione.
Rhode Island.
I have no idea. It's a Thursday night. It doesn't matter.
A&M played like Rhode Island. They hosted who they host last weekend? Cal Poly or somebody.
What about it?
I'm not saying nothing against it. I'm just saying A&M's hot. They haven't played anybody really.
Yeah, we ain't played nobody, especially Tuesday. But
Florida.
We played Florida the first series. I think next, not this weekend, but next. So I'm ready to watch that one. That'll be a good one.
It'll be really good. It's Sunday's the big thing. So Jack Caglione is the first baseman and Sunday starter for him. He's if he keeps going the way he's done through the first 2 weekends, he'll win the Golden Spike Award. But the problem is he did the same thing last year. And it's very hard for him to play first base and pitch as well as he does.
This isn't rankings.
Yeah, this is of May 21st. Florida, I think, is like 4 now. But they are
baseball.
Yeah. Campbell's up there as well. But Florida. They probably have 2 top 20 picks in the draft in Shelton. And their Friday or Saturday guy, I can't remember where he started. They are very good. They're very, very good. Kevin Sumlin is, the Arkansas coach, and whatever Wake Forest is doing there.
Bernie Mac?
You have a dude named Kevin Sumlin?
Kevin Sullivan.
Oh, it sounds like something. That's what
Kevin Sullivan. And Arkansas guy, and whatever Wake Forest is doing there are probably the top 3 coaches in the country. Just because Florida somehow loses everybody every year and somehow still that's so Texas A&M's problems started. Schloss came in and he's changed kind of the culture a little bit. The big thing about college baseball is holding those guys that could get drafted out of high school, they end up going, and then keeping them in college for 3 years. And
we had a couple guys that did that.
And that's the thing. So Childress did a great job of getting the really great guys to say they were going to A&M, and then they get dangled a $5.5 million check in front of their face, and they go to the MLB. And so they had a top 5 recruiting class every year, but ended up in reality having a top 20 recruiting class because those guys never showed up.
I think Gavin Grahovic, the third baseman, was projected to be pretty high, and someone else.
Yeah, and
But
so
I wonder how they. Well, I guess NIL now, but it kind of like how do they talk him out of that? Or not really?
It's still NIL doesn't even compare to baseball contracts just because baseball is all guaranteed, and if you're going
bonus.
If you're going within the first 3 rounds, you're getting a 7-figure check at some point. Yep. And so, I mean, you can see the rankings here. Wake Forest, they got Chase Burns. He's the transfer out of Tennessee. Throws at 100. He's going to be the first pitcher drafted this year. He's the elite of the elite, and it really doesn't get any better. He's this year's Paul Skeens, even though we've known about him, and he didn't catch for Air Force. Arkansas, they're just really good. They're just really good all around.
They're always good.
They are. They just always have found a way to be good. LSU
it's like
at 3.
LSU, TCU, Arkansas, Florida.
TCU, I wouldn't put them up there with those guys. I would say, every 3 to 4 years they have a really elite team. They had a while, our buddy Halen was there, and a little bit before that where they had some consistent years where they made the College World Series a few years in a row, but they had the core guy of the big first baseman, the lefty catcher, and they were really good. But LSU, it's just going to LSU. It's just they are the historic best baseball program. I mean, you can go back to USC and Texas, but no one really cares. I mean, you go past 1980, and it's just what seems like dominated by the SEC. And it's just they are the cream of the crop. You want to play for LSU if you're going to play college baseball, which kind of sucks because the atmosphere is amazing.
Why do you think LSU's baseball culture is like? You look at it be honest with you, who wants to go live in Baton Rouge?
It's because of their whole old coach. And I'm drawing a blank on the name. But
their stadium's pretty. The environment's pretty good and pretty nice too.
It's hold the rope. Skip Bertman. So Skip made LSU into what it was. So Miami was a powerhouse in the early 80s and then left to go to LSU and made LSU kind of what it was. We literally helped build stands around it. His saying was hold the rope. I mean, you've got people who call college baseball all year long, and it's – what the fuck was that?
David, you all right?
Hell, yeah. Well, good.
Hey, that baby tasted pretty good.
No, I slipped in my socks.
Oh God!
Hey, look at this.
I could go down a rabbit hole all day on college baseball, but LSU's the cream of the crop. It's Skip Bertman's reason. And anyways, A&M and Texas are both good. Texas will make the tournament. A&M will probably host a regional, and I hope to God that y'all play in a super in College Station.
We going?
But yes, no. If Reed's playing, no. Well, to wrap up college baseball, we'll talk about Reed for a second. I'll be a little selfish.
What did he do the other day?
His last appearance was in a 9-19 game. The Sooners were not on the winning part of that, and he had an outing. We haven't talked about the details about it, and he said he pitched okay. The velo was okay, 90-92, and they lost 9-19. I don't know how many runs he was responsible for or he gave up in the inning, but it happens when you come in bases loaded, no outs, and have the
part of the game.
Yeah,
that's unearned runs right there. It's not.
Well, no, it's not even his runs. So he did walk one and give up a hit, so he might have let up some runs. But, it happens when you come in bases loaded, no outs. But, anyways, on to the next one.
So, wrapping baseball up. What do you said LSU, you said Arkansas, you said TCU, you said all those schools. I think I could see LSU playing for a national championship.
Are we talking about mid-majors? Do you want to talk about mid-majors? I can talk about mid-majors all day because ECU, Campbell, Dallas Baptist,
Coastal Carolina.
They're so fun to watch. Eastern Carolina, it looks like the most fun school on the face of the earth when you watch a baseball game there.
They have a kid on their team that got in a boat.
They hosted a super regional. Yeah, he lost his leg and got on at bat the first game of the year. It was awesome.
He has a prosthetic. Yeah, he has a prosthetic.
But Eastern Carolina, if no one's ever watched a baseball game that's happening in Eastern Carolina, I don't even know where they are in the Carolinas.
I
Dude,
did.
It looks like the most electric place on the face of the earth. They hosted a super last year, and it was awesome. It was so cool to watch. And it just looks the coach there is doing something that I just don't understand. It seems like, when you just know that those guys fit in the system so great. When you look at him come to the plate,
he's not recruiting stars; he's recruiting ball players.
Yeah, when you look at these guys come to the plate and go to the field, like they just look like they were born to wear ECU colors. Like they were born to wear the jersey. They look like the coach looks like just like pander with me for a minute. He looks like Ed Orgeron, but for a baseball coach. If you've ever seen a picture of him, Carrot, and he's gone. If you could pull up a picture of ECU's head baseball coach, like he looks like what Ed O talked about running every day with Ray Baker, the son, at 12 noon. Like, you got to be friends with Ray Baker. And he looks like a Carolina baseball dude. He is tanned up all the time.
Cliff Godwin.
Exactly. Listen to the name. Think about how good of a Carolina baseball coach that is.
Well,
his name is Cliff Godwin.
You want to know something?
They have ECU Pirates.
Is Sam Houston good this year?
Sam Houston's always going to be like a good baseball team.
I'm saying
they're okay.
Solid.
They're okay.
They're usually pretty damn good.
They have a kid named Bristol Jacob Jenkins Cowart. He's an outfielder from Greensboro.
That might be where ECU's from. Where's ECU? David, you know where ECU's at?
It's Greenville or Greensboro.
It's Green something, I thought.
I think it's
the reason I know that's because the Horns played
Greenville.
We played them in a regional or super regional 2 years ago, and we won there. So I know
that super regional 2 years ago was electrical to watch because they had who was the first baseman? Look at that dude. Just look at him.
It's Greenville, North Carolina.
It's Greenville, North Carolina. Yeah. Cliff Godwin. He is something about that team, and it might be just because they're purple and gold, and I reminisce about, playing high school baseball, but like you just look like a guy that knows ball. He knows ball and knows how to get his guys going, and they just seem to always get going because that place is always electric and they're always good. They put up a fight. Texas got all they wanted in that super. It was Ivan Melendez.
We lost game 1.
Yeah.
We won game 2 on a walk-off, and then we won game 3 handily.
Yeah, it's that place is a launching pad too. If it's a hot summer day and the wind's blowing out,
field, yeah,
literally pop flies. Like Ivan Melendez hit one. They tailgate in an outfield.
Yeah,
like all along the outfield.
It's a bunch of Southern boys.
Melendez hit one all the way over all of the tailgating. Like the outfield, I think left field's 3 something, and there's probably another 100 feet of people in tailgating, and he hit it over everybody.
Yes, that was a great series.
Anyways, yeah, it was an awesome series. I can talk about college baseball.
Let's get over to the game of golf.
Touching on last week.
What Anthony Kim say?
He laid an egg. Here, if you want to pull up the Live Golf website, you can go to their last tournament and show the leaderboard. So he finished DFL, and in case anybody doesn't know what DFL stands for, it stands for dead fucking last. David was right.
Take your bet.
The over. He took the over. I think the over under was what? Did I say 72.5, 74.5?
74.
Yeah.
Where'd they play?
They called it Jeddah, but it's also not called Jeddah. I need to look it up. It's like Prince something. It's in the Middle East.
You said it's a pretty playable course, though, right?
I don't know much about the course, considering I've never been to the Middle East.
I thought you said that. It's
So
okay,
Trey, are
it's
you
the-
0-2 on the bets you've recommended in here? Because you recommended me to bet
Never
Anthony
listen to a
Kim.
bet from Trey. Trey is the worst person for you to listen to on a bet. You
He
will be
took the
broke.
Niners. He took the Niners, and he took AK.
When it was like it was the playoffs. We're sitting there, and he's like, "Yeah, I take this, and I like this, and I like this." I'm like, "Yeah,
Sorry.
I'll take both."
Sorry,
Lost all
just
my
because I want to get off the fact that I suck at betting. It's technically the King Abdullah Economic City is where they played, aka Jeddah. Exactly, King Abdullah
Saudi
Economic
Arabia?
City.
King
It
Abdullah.
is Saudi Arabia. So Joaquin Neiman walked away the winner. He's the best live golfer on tour right now. Joaquin's just he is who he is. There's a reason he got an invite to the Masters. There's a reason he also got an invite to the PGA Championship. He is playing elite golf, but he's also one of the few guys that's going out and doing something about it. He's playing in other things. He's playing in the DP World Tour. He's playing on little. You've heard his name for a while because he also won the Latin American Am and played in the Masters at like 18, and then turned pro shortly after. But Anthony Kim DFL'd, comes out round 1, round 2, shoots 76, and his first round? His first round was pretty docile. I mean, it just a bunch of bogeys, and then second round, I mean, his first 4 holes he was 5 over. I mean,
You think it's
sorry to say it, but it sounds like a Dylan Valentine round from like junior year of high school, and it is what it is. I don't know if he wants to pop in here and rebuttal, but it just it wasn't great. And then the third round, granted he only shoots 4 over. Oh, there he is.
Okay, what do you guys say about that?
Pretty accurate. pretty accurate. Okay, I'll say that.
There you go. But and then only 4 over in his last round, shoots 74. It was a par 70. It was not. It just wasn't a great showing. He looks way different. He didn't play well. Granted, it's his first competitive round in 12 years. So it's
competitive, or are you talking about like it's like I'm sure he's been playing a lot of golf for a lot of pressure for a lot of money.
This is his first
I
tournament.
mean, he had like a $30 million insurance buyout, but he'll talk about that later. He did touch on that. He doesn't want to actually talk about his story until it's not the main focus, but it will always be the main focus, so it doesn't really matter. Because everybody wants to know why.
PGA?
No, the rumor was, and it's been touched on in a few podcasts. Supposedly, he had a $30 million insurance buyout that because he was injured and couldn't play golf as good as he was, he just cashed out the insurance and took the $30 million policy, and so he got paid $30 million. And so,
how do you get paid? Just because you get hurt, you're not good at your sport. That means football players would be able to get paid all the time.
Because that's your source. You have to take out the right policy on yourself. I'm sure the insurance salesman can tell you.
It's true. We do have a professional in here.
Yeah. So please elaborate, Jalen.
So basically, it's like with anything you do. So like basically, in my line of work, my boss could take a key man policy out on me. So if something happened to me, he could recoup the money that I bring to the business. And
basically like a life insurance policy once you die.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing.
It's basically like a life. So like basically I get like disabled, I can't work anything, like he can always cash that policy in and make up the money for,
But he did it himself.
Exactly. So he did it for his golf.
You can do that. You can take a policy out on yourself. And what that does is it basically goes to your career, what you do for a living, saying if something is to happen to me,
to where you cannot perform your duties.
If you have like a dangerous type job, you could do that.
Best of my, a potential, I can cash this money in. And
it's like a work comp on steroids.
Yeah, it's basically like, whoever told him to do that was pretty freaking smart.
Yeah. So he caught an injury, got rumored. It's again all rumored. Paid out $30 million, and so that's why LIV seemed like the best place to go. Which is why, because the Saudis have an unlimited checkbook. They're worth $700 billion. And so they paid him, whatever it was to cover the payback, because I'm sure he has to pay it back because he's playing competitive golf again. But he finished DFL, gets paid like probably $75,000 for finishing last in a 55-man field, whatever it is. But speaking of field size, it brings me to the PGA Tour event. It's an elevated event. A $3.5–4 million purse, whatever it is. The Arnold Palmer's this weekend. And guess how many players the PGA Tour has in here, but are still getting world ranking points. So the average field of a tour event, I'll put it in perspective, I think has been raised to 154 people when there's a cut after 36 holes, which is what keeps them able to get their points, except for the LIV events, but we won't touch on that. Just guess how many people are playing for this big old purse in this elevated event.
That are ranked?
No, just playing. Just playing in this tournament. Because
you said 150, right?
Well, so that's the average PGA Tour event. The reason that LIV Golf doesn't get official World Golf Rankings points is because they don't have a cut and they don't field at least a certain amount of people in the field, which I think official World Golf Rankings is like 74, 75, something like that. But this event does get World Golf Ranking points.
What do they have, like 60?
They have 69 players.
That was close. Damn, so they're like
Nice.
being hypocritical right now.
Yes. Yeah, they have 15 more players than the LIV event does. And it's crazy. Shane Lowry, I mean, obviously we're filming this on a Thursday. Shane Lowry went off today. He's 6 under there. He seems to always play well in Florida, but it doesn't make any sense. There's not going to be a cut. Everybody's going to get paid. It's a signature event. The winner's going to get $4 million, just like the LIV events. And something needs to happen to where the best players all get to play together again.
I thought there was something where the PGA and LIV came together on some type of deal.
So that was June 6th, and that'll touch on the next subject. Full Swing came out. I haven't watched everything. I'm on the Tom Kim episode. So what happened is it's known in golf day the golf world is just June 6th. It's where the LIV and the PIF, which is the Public Investment Fund for Saudi Arabia, and the PGA Tour decided to all merge and create something. But that was June 6th of last year. Nothing's come out of it. Jay Monahan, the CEO of the tour, and Nasser, the leader of the PIF and LIV Golf, have only talked like once. So we have no idea what's going to happen. Basically, everybody's fed up with it. It's a bunch of bullshit. I
think they'll work out a solution, and I think the ultimate goal is to make golf, what it used to be. The best players playing with, each other, and playing on the PGA Tour. But
right now it's a pissing contest, and the PGA Tour thinks it's better than LIV. The problem is LIV has infinite money; they will never go away. So they're going to have to make a deal. And what's going to happen, and I think the best solution is the PGA Tour plays in the summer. You have all 4 majors in the summer; they do their thing, and then the winter months come around, and you play about 6 or 8 events around the winter around the world, and you have a world tour, which is the LIV Tour, and everybody has their thing. Everybody has the balance, but everybody, the top players, get back together again. Just like Paul Azinger said that it went viral on golf Twitter. The best players in the world are not playing on the PGA Tour anymore. It's basically a feeder tour for the LIV Tour. It's not a feeder tour that's a little extensive, but it's turning into that way because LIV has the money to change people's lives, even though, Shane Lowry, if he holds on to win, he's leading after today, will win $4 million. $4 million is nothing next to 40 or 400 or 600 like John Rahm got. So it's going to happen. It will happen. And that's, I'll hop off my soapbox. So David will stop yawning and go to bed.
We'll just go ahead and wrap it up. I want to thank all our followers and everybody out there giving us support. We appreciate it. We're going to come to you every week. Next week, we're going to try to touch more on March Madness, and, we'll work our way into the Masters as it gets there. Trey has his Zilker belt out. Shout out to Zilker belts. Like we say, use Pines 936. Receive 25% off all online shopping.
I am in my closet.
And also, thank y'all again for everything. We'll see y'all next week.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube video.
Oh, check us out on Instagram.
Oh, shout out to our new manager, Carrot.
Yeah, shout out to our producer / manager behind the scenes. Pull yourself up here, Carrot. Shout out to you.
Hell yeah.
All right, we'll see y'all.
Have a good night.